Yo, yo, what up, everybody? It's Jay the Kid here, and we just gonna be giving you a audio reaction of night one and night two of WrestleMania. So just be on the lookout. The guys are gonna give y'all their opinions, and then we just gonna go off of an overall feeling of the event. So we gonna start off with night one. The start of the show was Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and fucking Speed. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then we got the LA Knight and Jay Uso and Jimmy. Does not sound like a good team in my opinion, but hey, if that's what y'all want to play, fuck it. I thought they was gonna do LA Knight dirty and just show up like heels to help Roman. We'll get into night two a little bit later on into the show. Not gonna lie to you, that was the stupidest shit ever. Was nobody watching TV? Did everybody not see that they were literally making Speed be a part of their fucking group? He was telling y'all from the beginning he ain't want no smoking to that shit, but y'all still whooped his ass. And then on top of that, the tag team champions lost at WrestleMania and didn't lose their titles. They just lost. This could have been a tag team title match that did not need Speed or LA Knight at all. LA Knight could have did some whole other shit, but y'all decided to put him in the tag match that did not need to be needed just to put a nigga on the show. There was no point in putting him on the show, in my personal opinion. What what was the point of this? What did he gain from any of this shit? I digress. Speed had one hell of a frog splash, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't think that nigga could get that high up in the air like he did, but it's pretty cool. Austin Theory was pointless in this match. The Usos had some pretty cool gear. LA Knight came out in a big ass truck for no reason. I think WWE just wanted to show they had a budget for Las Vegas, and I mean, I guess fuck it. Uh, hmm. And then what was next? It was the women's fatal four way, or was it the? We gonna act like it was the women's fatal four way. Um, all in all, I guess not a bad showing for the women. It definitely was short as hell, but we gonna get into the shortness of this show in a little bit later into this. Um, Paige, WWE. Um, you love to see it, I guess. I mean, should she get a chance to finally come back into WWE? And hell, maybe after a little run here, she legit might go and retire and be done with wrestling for good. Maybe she just want one more moment in WWE since she kind of was robbed of that. I'm not gonna blame nobody because there's nobody to blame. It's just shit. Things happen, and yeah. Bottom line, Paige is back in WWE. Her and Brie Bella are tag team champions. The weirdest fucking sentence I think I could say, respectfully. Bailey and Lyra had some cool gear, mismatch boots, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I want them to break this shit up so bad. Lyra and Bailey makes no sense. Alexa and Charlotte is still interesting, but it's like without gold, there's no point in eating them together. Nia and Lash, I'm not gonna lie to you, I keep them around each other a little bit. You kind of dilute Nia Jax's stiffness in the ring with like Lash Legend tall ability, so it's kind of like for some reason Lash Legend shit just looks more effective as a big woman, and I don't even mean its weight. I just mean it's her being tall as hell. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it and everything. I just feel that we need a little bit more into this show, and the fact that this match was short as hell too, kind of bothers me. But I digress. I digress. Then I'm gonna go into Fatu versus McIntyre. Um, it was cool. It was like an unsanctioned match. It didn't feel like an unsanctioned match. I'm gonna be real with you. It just felt like a street fight. That's kind of crazy to say, because there's no way in hell that this shit should have felt like a street fight. But if that's what y'all objective for all of this was, I mean, shit, go for it, I guess. But it feels like a big ass waste of time for Drew McIntyre and Jacob. Only because what does Drew McIntyre gain from being WWE champion, losing it on SmackDown to Cody Rhodes just to be in a unsanctioned match at WrestleMania versus Jacob Fatu? Don't get me wrong, Jacob Fatu, great wrestler. Anybody be lucky to have that main event spot at main, well, not a main event spot, but like a spot at WrestleMania. Just for Drew McIntyre to lose. Drew McIntyre lost at Mania again. Again. Let me repeat it. Drew McIntyre lost at Mania again. For what? What's the point of Drew McIntyre winning at Mania? Just, I mean, losing at Mania just for y'all to try to make him still seem like a threat in the background for the championship. Newsflash, y'all could have walked him into WrestleMania as champion. Cody Rhodes still could have randomly got his way into that match. Y'all could have just said, "Hey, Cody, if you win on SmackDown, you going into the main event match of Mania for Backlash." That's the simplest shit y'all could have done. Let Cody walk in, no gold. Let Randy walk in, no gold. Let's see who really want that shit worse. But no, y'all decided let's fuck Drew McIntyre out of gold just so we can put this nigga in a match with Jacob. And just put it as the Scottish psychopath versus the Samoan werewolf. What? Who's going to gain out of this? If Jacob's not in a world title picture or world champion in the next year or two, year and a half, what's the point of him seeming like a big ass threat to WWE if you just gonna be around the world title picture but never win that motherfucker? That, I'll mention that for another time. Let me just move the fuck on. Becky Lynch, AJ Lee. It was alright, I guess. I mean, shit, I ain't really got too much to say on that. I mean, it was a cool match. Had some cool moments. You seen AJ kind of shake that ring rust off of her a little bit. Becky was, as Becky is at Mania, she put up a good showing. Um, her and Jessica Carr, if they not gonna throw hands, it's like ain't no point of Becky ever getting in her face. Uh, we know, we know she know how to fight. We know Jessica Carr can wrestle because she hiding underneath that damn mask and evolve. But what is the idea of Becky not punching a referee finally? Just like I had enough of your shit, bow, hit her in the face. It is what it is. But I'm glad AJ Lee and Becky is over because it just feels like Seth and Punk when they first got together in WWE after the 9 years of separation. It just felt like, oh, okay, we just gonna piggyback off our husbands' beef and everything. And it's not like it's meant to be that way or it's set up to be that way, but it's set up to be that way by TKO. And these storylines low key are kinda mid for it. And I don't get it at all. All right, and then next we got Seth Rollins and Gunther. It saved night one just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, what more can I say? Gunther and Seth having a match to begin with is pretty cool. Of course, we know this wasn't the original plan and everything, but I mean, you still gave the people a pretty good show. You made Seth Rollins show that he still got it. You made Gunther not look weak as hell, but also at the same time, kind of showing that he can be beatable, if you ask me. I'm just, the dude who's supposed to be retiring Rey Mysterio going up against Seth Rollins the way he did, especially after you said you was gonna knock some sense into Seth Rollins. I felt I needed to. Yeah, I just felt like we just needed to see a little bit more belt to ass from Gunther. It's just, I don't know. All in all, Good match. Seth Rollins. I told my wife, Seth Rollins, I don't like this ring gear, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you. Without the goddamn jacket on, you look like a utility knife. And then with the motherfucking jacket on, you look like a emo goth curtain. And then you had the black eyes. I mean, cool concept and everything, but it just, nah, I wasn't fucking with that. Not your best WrestleMania gear. And then I'm saying that, and you came out with the. I'm gonna just put a picture up. I ain't got no. I'm not trying to describe that. That's gonna make me look a little suspect. What you wore, but you know what you wore. All in all, like I said, it kind of saved Mania. Then we got Van Kier versus Liv Morgan. Short as hell. We knew exactly what's gonna happen, and it happened. Liv Morgan did not go in there on her own to go win the belt. Now I get it, that's supposed to be the thing or whatever, but the fact that y'all made this shit feel so personal that it should have been easily, should have easily been Liv Morgan did it by herself and everything. I get it. It's the Judgment Day. They fight dirty and everything. There was no point of putting them in the match. Just let Liv win the shit on her own. I mean, easy said than done, but blah blah blah. If y'all was gonna let her win the belt any fucking ways, let her win the bitch clean, so she can then put it in her fucking face. And if at least if it was gonna be dirty, let her be the motherfucker that's playing dirty. Why the fuck does Raquel and them joining in do anything for this? Uh, Next, we got Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes with Pat fucking McAfee. Started it out with Pat McAfee taking just as long as Travis Scott to come down the fucking ramp. Nah, I'll talk a little bit more about that later too. Randy Orton, second time at WrestleMania that you had a weak ass goddamn Tron entrance, and it's not your fault. I get you don't got no creative control over that. They show you the idea, you go, wow, man, I love it. You don't really love that shit, but hell, you ain't got time to argue with nobody. You don't want to go back to old Randy Orton, so just shit. It is what it is. This match was okay. I mean, it wasn't nothing too much to woo about. It was a lot of blood, surprisingly. Um, I guess I should start out before how the match started and everything. Pat McAfee went through a announce table from Jelly Roll and was able to find a referee jersey or shirt, whatever you want to call it, and come back down running to the ring. Running. This nigga was just went through an announce table, was stretchered off, and now he's running to the fucking ring just to get RKO'd by Randy Orton again with his stupid ass. Where the fuck did Jelly Roll go after that? Did he just go sit back down after he put the nigga through the announce table? Like, am I? Maybe these are not the important questions, but I want to know where the fuck Jelly Roll went. All in all, night one was a 4.8 out of 10 for me. Um, yeah, I just feel like we could have did way better. To finish off on the Randy and Cody thing, it was a cool match. It was decent. It was a lot of blood. It was a lot of violence. It was a lot of mayhem. Cody retaining, I guess. If, if y'all gonna drag this out into SummerSlam, maybe it's best to add Kevin Owens in here somewhere when he returns because I don't know if Randy Orton got too much time left with this shit. And before we get to any big ass tours and all this other shit where he could possibly get injured, strike lightning while it's hot, add Kevin Owens into the shit. Let's get this shit done and over with. Uh, it, is Randy Orton coming back with the punt like that? What was he ain't did the punt in a minute, but he punted Cody, and if that's not gonna lead into him like crashing out a little bit more and being even more like the Viper, sure. It's something else I'm gonna talk about with y'all next week on the original plans for this match, apparently. But I digress over and pass it off to the boys, and they'll let y'all know about night one, and then we're getting to night two after. Peace.
What's up, y'all? It's Broke Boy Bray coming back with my night one and night two reactions for WrestleMania. We're gonna break them up into two parts. We're gonna start with night one. So for night one overall, I'm gonna be honest, I was very disappointed when it came to night one of WrestleMania. I felt like it just was not really that good. Speed and the Vision versus Usos and LA Knight was, I guess, a really cool opener. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, I felt like was really good, but could have just used some more edge to it. Like it felt less like an unsanctioned match, more just like a no DQ. So that kind of fucking sucked. But the Fatal Four Way for the women's tag was pretty fun. Seeing Paige come back was pretty lit. I know she's been wanting to come back for a minute. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch, just that's a feud that I'm happy is done, and we don't have to deal with that anymore because yeah, that shit was something. Gunther and Seth Rollins was really, really entertaining. I really enjoyed that match a lot. I felt like that one really didn't need Braun Breaker. I get why they did it for the story purposes, but I felt like that one could have just been those two guys going at it, and it would have been perfect. Stephanie Becker and Liv Morgan. I I felt like that was a really good match, and my issue and overall issues I had with night one was I felt like each of the matches were just going by so fast. Like these matches were very short and did not really get the time they needed to flesh out, especially Liv and Stephanie because they genuinely built that feud up to be really good. But it is what it fucking is. And then Cody and Orton, I don't want to fucking talk about that. Uh, Overall, I gotta give night one like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Man, that shit was just disappointing. So stay tuned for part two. That's coming soon.
It's your boy LC from 773, and we're back again with a WrestleMania recap for night one. Alright, pretty much is just gonna be my key points for the time being. Starting off with my top of all, for some reason we have women's matches going under 10 minutes. I don't know what we really have a problem with as far as given the time frame and everything else is like we got a whole bunch of filler spots for no reason when clearly that time can be used for non-fillers. All really, it's like we talking to a wall here, but pretty much, it's other people in place on that. So, as they say, since we're not in that position of power with being able to control who goes where for what time and how long, we just outside looking in, but it's right there. It's hard to miss. I mean, even as far as going to that next point. Yeah, it's interesting to see what they're gonna do with Paige and Brie Bella being tag champs, with Nikki being on the side or running as manager at the moment, as far as we can see. But what's going to be next with this position, as far as like what's next in play? I mean, damn sure, got to get Lash and Jax a tag team match, rematch for that. It's something needs to make sense for that. We'll see what they do as far as Monday goes. Even to Friday, depending on how that goes, or they gonna just be, the new champions, Jackson Lash going two separate ways, which I don't want to see. Some of the best chemistry as far as tag team goes, I haven't seen. Well, I have seen as far as recently. Even again, definitely shouts out for the demolition gear. It's different, like it, everybody have their own weird opinion on it, but, I'm that mindset on that. That's something you like to see, especially as far as them being, inducted, including it's a spinoff, but it's something different, and that definitely should have been a little bit more spotlight on them. But, due to the circumstances of Paige return up until now, pretty much that's what we'd be looking at. Congratulations, EXT. Got baby on the way. Media tends to just throws a lot of bullshit around at the internet. That's just how the internet is. They want to say and be in your life 24/7. Some people you just gotta let them be. And that's the best way to do it. It's not everybody business what's going on in your life. You can just focus on you and not have to worry about anything. Going over to Speed Splash. I gotta give him that. I mean, I knew he was gonna do something crazy, but I kind of expected him to do a little bit more in the match. But he really getting down the sports entertainer part. He more on the active side than a professional wrestler. But no disrespect on that. It's just you can tell he's leaning more in on the active side for it, which is good. That gives you a lot more roles with a lot of things. You got to know how to perform all around in order to do what you can do. Already athletic is just learn how to perfect it. That's the best part. And even going over to the man's prime breaker. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say this, but dude can fucking fly. Like, I definitely have to insert. Just seeing the man bend that corner and leave his feet. He's opened the barricade. And within the next 3 to 5 seconds, he just hit the man and everybody just like disappeared from right there. That's the wildest shit I've never seen. It's like Brian is for sure. He now beat everybody with the spear. It's like, it's Rhino on the gore because the gore is different, but that spear, that's all Brian Breaker. Pretty much, let's see now. I mean, other than that, pretty much for night one for me is going to be Pat McAfee. Is he really gone? And what's up with Randy overkicking Cody in the head? Like that was legit. Some of them you can tell he had tried to like pull his punches on it, but that right there was a for sure. You gonna smell my entire fucking foot, and I want you to feel this afterwards. So we'll see what they do Monday again. This is just gonna be something.
Yo, it's Vaughn the Don. What it do? From Four Ropes Full Podcast. I want to give my take on WrestleMania 42 Night 1. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I felt like that shit was ass. Like, it's just what it is. Night 1 was very underwhelming. They were going through matches for what? Every match. I think the longest match was 22 minutes. And the second one being 14 minutes. What that tell you? What the fuck does that tell you? And also this too. Everybody wanna, the WWE stands, the fanboys, excuse the win, but the WWE fanboys wanna say, oh, y'all just wanna hate. No, don't nobody. First of all, as big of a wrestling WWE fan, hell, WWE is the first thing I knew since a child. That's the first thing I attracted to. We know the fucking difference between good and bad. If you enjoyed it, whoop-de-doo. That's good. I'm glad you got your money's worth. You voiced your opinion, and you loved it. But for the people that didn't enjoy it, man, fuck off, man. Y'all can't be mad about some shit that didn't nobody enjoy. And another thing going into night 1 of WrestleMania, an hour and 20 of wrestling. But you had so many damn ads. Let's not forget the damn Hulk Hogan ads. Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck, bro? If that's the case, if you're going to do a 4-hour show and only give us an hour and 20 of wrestling, just make it one fucking night. It's just that fucking simple, bro. Excuse my language, but it's just that simple. That's what the hell they need to do. I'm sorry. Hopefully night 2, pull the plug. But this shit was terrible. And it just is what it is, man. Hey, you fanboys, I ain't gonna say fanboys, you stans. Look, bro, if you like what you like, but everybody ain't gotta agree. And all the people, they just hating. If you like it, you liked it. But if nobody don't like it, you can't be mad at a person's opinion if they don't like something. Like the same way I'm not mad at nobody that liked the show. It's just that simple. All right, y'all. Vaughn the Don checking out. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Broke right here, back with another review for WrestleMania Night 2 reactions for everything that went down. So let's just get right to it, I guess. I mean, go ahead and get everything pulled up, and we can just get right to it and discuss the card. It just came to a conclusion. Right. So, Night started off with Oba Femi versus Brock. And this goes back to the issue I addressed in part 1. Short matches. That one needed more time. That one deserved a lot more time. The six-man tag. I mean, six-man tag, six-man ladder match was really good. I really enjoyed that. Javon was kind of getting his ass kicked, but still just a great showing from all the contestants. Sammy and Trick Williams for the IC title. I mean, the United States title. Damn, apologies. That was really good. I feel like also another match that deserved probably just a little bit more time. Same thing for um, Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Needed more time. Felt like it could have been more of a street fight. Really didn't show anything that was too out of the necessary. Um, Honestly, I'll be real. Jade versus Rhea was very entertaining. I really enjoyed that match, but let's just cut the bullshit and get straight to it. Roman Reigns versus Punk was really good up until the ending. I felt like it just was like every other match for Mania. Just the endings just do not do it for me for any of the matches, really. I enjoyed the conclusion. I thought the match was really solid. I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 5 for that match alone. I mean, yeah, 4 out of 5 for that match alone. But yeah, overall, probably give that night like a 7.5, maybe a solid little 8. But yeah, if I'm being honest, WrestleMania, I gotta give you like a C plus, maybe B minus if I'm being really generous. But overall, not impressed. All right, I'll let your boy.
My honest opinion to night 2, I'm going to give my opinion on these 2 matches first. Demon versus Dom was not bad. Of course, Finn Balor had to win this match as the Demon, and I'm not upset at that. It gives Finn a little bit of retribution for what happened at WrestleMania 41 last year, so it kind of works itself out. What I do not like is the Demon will probably lose to other people in WWE, and that sucks. But hey, at least we got a OG classic Demon look, and Finn Balor's now face. Hopefully he can hold some more gold. I don't think it'll be world title in WWE's eyes, but you know what? To hell with it. I had a good time watching this match. The one thing I just don't understand is how the fuck do we find out at WrestleMania that this match is a street fight? A street fight? Again, that's just the person that observes every single detail in wrestling for me. You don't like it, suck my big toe. Maybe not the big toe, it kind of got a little hangnail, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to get at is what's the point of putting these two in a feud if they're going to see each other again on Monday? I think Finn low-key needs to be drafted to SmackDown. He don't even got to interact with Damian Priest. Just send him somewhere else. Let him get a restart. And I think it'll be good for Finn. Dom, keep him on Raw. Let him do his thing. Let him be a heel. Let people boo his ass. I mean, shit in hell. You might as well just let him stay a heel for life. Unless, fans start loving him and then all his t-shirts sell out. Then I guess y'all can make him into a face. But that's up to y'all. Next match we got here is Trick Willie versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is full-on heel now, and there's nothing that anybody can tell me. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Sami Zayn being the heel was not in my bingo card, but you know what? I'm not against it. I think a heel Sami going for the world title is way more able to get behind than I guess a babyface Sami, just because we always get our hearts broken. But Sami can cheat his way to the world title now at this point, and I think fans would still be happy. He's not gonna keep it for a long time, but if that's what y'all gonna make him do, shit, do what it gotta do then. Trick Willie winning this title was pretty cool. Lil Yachty, shout out to bro, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I love Sami Zayn. Ain't no way a nigga chucking me across the barricade like that, respectfully. Can't be me. I would have been started a riot, but hey, I think overall these 2 matches were not bad, just short as hell. And speaking of short matches, how does Obafemi and Brock Lesnar get a 5-minute match to open the fucking show? 5 minutes. Well, night 2 main event, we'll get to y'all in a minute, but 5 minutes is what you gave Brock Lesnar and Obafemi to wrestle, just for Brock Lesnar to retire. Now, I didn't think I would say this, but low-key, I think I'm gonna miss Brock Lesnar being around. Now, thinking about it and everything, we kind of need a big motherfucker that we can't understand why they in the top of the game. But when we see them and see him throwing the motherfucker around, we go, oh, okay, that's why. Beat a lot of niggas, but he got beat by the nigga in 2026. So you know what? I can't hate you too much, big bro. Yeah, that's all I really got for that match and everything, because we didn't get a full taste of nothing. Pause. Obafemi is going to be the big dog of this motherfucker now. We already knew that. We just needed to see if WWE was serious, and he put belt to ass to Brock Lesnar damn near. Yeah, it's a lot to be desired for this match, and I'm a little disappointed, all honesty. The shortness with WrestleMania in general, I'm going to touch on here in just a minute, but let me just go through and get to the rest of these matches. I'll come back to the Punk and Roman in just a minute. And then another thing about these matches and everything, a 15-minute ladder match, kind of outrageous, personally, but luckily a lot of people was able to get a few move sets off. Not gonna lie to you, Penta retaining, smart option. I said that with my boy talking smack with Creed. Javon Evans being the person that might have did it. I ain't gonna lie to you, that the crowd popped when he was going up that ladder. Dragon Lee, I did not see at all, but I knew that he was gonna have himself a good highlight reel in this match. Rey Mysterio still moving the way he do at his age, kind of crazy. Rusev being in WWE, I feel like low-key he might be the next IC champion, but that's low-key on some... That's a personal opinion. And JD McDonough, he was there. Don't mind me, JD. I'm not yawning because you born. I'm yawning because it's 8 a.m. as I'm saying this. But yeah, all in all, fun match. And then we got the Women's World Championship match. A lot to be desired, but I guess it wasn't a bad showing. Jade wasn't bad in this match. So a lot of people might say, oh, she was too stiff. Oh, she can't wrestle, blah, blah, blah. I think for a WrestleMania that didn't include Naomi or Bianca, she held on, honestly. And you can't really be mad at that. You can't discourage her for this, all honesty. Yeah. Damn, this motherfucking morning time is kicking my... Anyways. Yeah, this match was okay. Like I said, it's just the shortness in these matches. That just makes me low-key wonder what the fuck WWE had in plans for all of this shit, to be honest. This was disappointing, and anybody who disagrees with it, hey, that's your personal opinion. I don't give a fuck on it, though. I'm gonna be real with you. There's a lot of shit that went wrong with this event, and I'm gonna talk about it after I talk about Punk and Roman. And then, before I give my follow-through for everything, let's go ahead and talk about it now, actually. What the fuck was the week and two of going back and forth and everything like that for them to then, a few days before the event, say, oh, I respect you, blah, 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 I was jealous of you, blah, 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 blah. Just for these niggas to act like they hated each other. Did not have a clean fight. First off, Roman should have been DQ'd. He hit a nigga with steel steps. I don't give a fuck if that's how WWE, nobody wants WrestleMania in like this. Y'all should have set that shit up for a street fight or something else then. Why the fuck would y'all making it seem like this was just going to be in the ring? I'm going to show I'm better than you. These niggas was literally trying to hurt each other. And this would have been so motherfucking much better than what we got. Honestly, like, let's stop playing these dumbass games because y'all like to make it seem like fans are fucking dumb. We not dumb. We see exactly what the fuck going on and everything. This was a quick cash grab of an event. Punk and Roman, great match. Saved night 2 of WrestleMania as well. Now, night 2 is way better than night 1, but we already knew that. We knew once we saw the lineups and everything, but what we did not know is we was not going to have enough time, which is now why I'm going to just give my opinion on the event itself. TKO, I don't know if y'all listening to anybody anymore. But if this is how it's gonna be and everything, I've grown to the night concepts and everything like that. But me personally, I'd rather y'all just quit doing this shit respectfully. Stop doing night twos and night ones and everything. Just make it one fucking event. If y'all are gonna basically do an hour, 20 minutes of each night wrestling and then 4 hours of commercials and ads, why the fuck am I seeing Kerry Kittles on my fucking screen drinking beers? He got most time. You could have gave that shit to Danhausen again. At this point, you could have gave that shit to R-Truth and Damian Priest. You could have gave that shit to so many other people, but y'all decided to fuck around with it, and now look at us. We wondering what the fuck the future holds, and I mean, shit. It is what it is. I just think that y'all don't understand exactly what we need, and I feel like the rest of the year is probably gonna be some bullshit. But that's just me and everything, honestly. This video probably is gonna close out with our boy Von the Don's final thoughts and everything. So yeah, just make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe on this video, and we'll see you in about a week for our next video. It's gonna be a banger. So Jay the Kid signing out. Peace.
Yo, it's your boy LC from 773, and this is my key points for WrestleMania 42, Night 2 Sunday. Kicking off pretty much, we have Oba retiring Brock. The ruler beats the beast. I mean, right off the bat, all you could pretty much say is Oba then redeems a lot of things that Brock has done to people. I mean, everybody already know it was like he was playing like Brock is the beast. Once you beat the beast, automatically that's gonna put you up at least 10 spots ahead of people. So open challenger Roman is something that's for sure it is going to be it. Whether Roman retains or not, it automatically, the ruler is your next big thing. It's like if you go put that rocket on somebody that's young, that you trying to promote as your biggest star, especially on the powerhouse side, it's a way to go about it. And so far, they haven't Goldberg yet, thankfully. But I mean, it can go any way. You know, wrestling is a beautiful and sometimes very ugly thing. So, you know, it's going to be very special to see where they go with this for the next, few months or so over into the next Mania. Even after we have Rey Mysterio with his Deadpool inspired gear with Penta's Shao Kahn, if I'm not mistaken, Mortal Kombat inspired gear. Definitely, two top tiers. Yesterday I completely got it wrong. I said Daredevil, but it was like, we got close. You had to look a little bit better. It's gonna be one of them things we could start back seeing for a while. You wasn't expecting, or due to certain situations, Ray couldn't wear certain equipment. I have made a few inspired masks as of recent. I definitely need to get Ray's signature on that, and I got one for Dom. Got one for Dom too. It's like I've been doing my research and everything, coming up with some designs of my own, but it's nothing like having that original and then my personal pieces that would never leave my side nor be sold, given to anybody. I need those with that special taste that'll go perfect with that. Even going forward on the end, it was like, it's good retention on Penta holding the belt, still give everybody opportunity. You had a lot of debuts for the match. JD, he took some serious fucking moves, as always. He takes serious bumps. Javon definitely showcasing the bouncy and being, one of the guys he wasn't even around when certain matches was being made. So, I definitely understand that it's like only a few years older than a few of these guys. Like, yeah, we was there for certain matches, but, to actually be in the match and seeing how a lot of people's progression is going, that's also great. Let's see, going forward, I would have to say, it was a hell of a match for Rhea and Jade. Jade pulling out her version of the one-winged angel, and that was just something you could definitely see. She been working. She been in the job for sure. It's like, yeah, seeing that she lost now to Rhea, you can still definitely keep that one going. But I mean, wrestling fans get bored quick of stuff that they don't understand. It's a reason that you need to build these rivalries and have these things going on at a time frame where, all right, they history as basically Rhea has been getting beat to the point where it's outnumbered 24/7. Her, always outnumbered. Now she managed to get that one up on them, even while still being outnumbered completely. They managed to pull it off. So let's see where she go from there now. And that's another on the end for Rhea being Grand Slam as far as women's tag titles, women's world title, and women's world heavyweight title. I believe all she needs now is the United States and the Intercontinental, which is like, I really be having my different mind changes on those, but it's like, you're gonna be a complete Grand Slam champion. Feel like you just gotta hold all the belts. I mean, interesting segment for the Danhausen John Cena, but, there's not too much needs to be said about that. It's already self-explanatory. Yeah, going into Punk and Roman, it was all it was expected to be. Yeah, I'm a Chicago boy, down to the fullest. Punk entrance, always gonna hit no matter what. Like, but you gotta give credit when it's due. Roman's been in this 11 times already. And it's pretty much since Punk been gone, Roman's been in that spotlight. It's like even when he was being pushed on as, the Blue Eyes Bulldog and finding himself within that, he still made something out of it. So now everybody understands. They don't even talk about the big dog unless they just talking about where he came from going into now. They talk about OTC or Tribal Chief. You already know what it is. So you gotta get credit. He's Grand Slam champion. It's the only other title he needed as far as modern day, if we consider how you looking at things. Like, yeah, he can easily go win the tag titles again, which he has already done. He had the United States, the Intercontinental. So when you looking at it all around the board, even for the belt that they combined the Universal with everything, and you still got your undisputed title. And now he has that other belt, which could also lead to another unification. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's very possible, but, it's just a way for things to go. Have to see where to go from here.
What's going on? This is Von the Don, Night 2 reaction to WrestleMania. I just want to say this. That first match was a banger with Brock versus Oba, and, Oba slaying a beast in WrestleMania. That's pretty cool. And, Brock retiring from WWE, man, that was a huge, swerve. That was crazy. And the latter match with Javon Edmonds did his thing. Rusev did his thing. Ray, Penta, Dragon Lee, they did their things that match. They put on a hell of a ladder match. The demon match with Finn Balor as the demon fighting, Dom. That's one of the most good thing I ever seen, man. Because we ain't saw the demon character in a decade, and I'm glad to see it back. And with a gimmick like Dirty Dom to actually force Finn to come back as the demon is pretty hard. And I would say Trick defeating Sammy, which was expected, but poor Sammy, he'll never get that big moment again. Rhea Ripley beating Jade, which was expected. No disrespect. I love Mammy, but kind of tired of seeing her repeatedly win the championship. And, Roman defeating CM Punk. And with that, to me, that was hard. Roman bought that belt more already than what it is. And, I'll prepare to see another tribal reign from Roman. But yeah, that's my night 2 of WrestleMania. And I feel like night 2 of WrestleMania was a whole completely different show from WrestleMania night 1. I don't know what the fuck they were doing in night 1. I don't know if that was TKO booking or Triple H booking. But that was 2 different damn shows. I was watching last for WrestleMania.